Hello, welcome to another tutorial video. So we look now at the chief examiner's comment, for question 2. And remember that question 2 is the analyze and link presentational devices section. So here we're going to see what the other examiners reported to the chief examiner and what the chief examiner's summation of it was, and that's going to be very useful to us because we can try and avoid mistakes that many other candidates have made and try and exemplify or copy the best of the practices that were done. So remember, this is the one where we have to explain how the certain elements of presentation and headline are effective and how they link with the text. Question 2 was generally successfully answered. Many candidates examined some of the elements and asked for in the question, and most related these to the body of the text. Some candidates made rather general or generic points about the function of headlines and subheadlines and other presentational devices, and missed the opportunity to make specific scoring points about some interesting words and ideas. So what this is telling you here, and obviously there's going to be a lot of students who rely on generic answers. The generic answer, or something like, the font is big to attract the reader, that should be your last refuge, the last place you actually try and go and hide. So even though for certain students I recommend that they just kind of build it up so they know what to say, if you're looking to get in higher than a C, you really want to be able to develop that and say something that's original and interesting about the points you're making, or through the points you're making. The effects noted were sometimes mundane, but also produced some more original and telling comments, such as "the picture gave me the chills," by a candidate who also explained why. If you put "the picture gave me chills" just on its own, I doubt you'd get very many marks. I'm not going to comment on that sentence any more than that. Infer what you will. The best responses focused on the contradiction, paradox and irony of the message of the text. So that's all analysis skill there, as exemplified by the apparent fearsomeness of the picture. So basically everything that was seen and can actually be taken like the language skills are actually picked out here, are only picked out because they are apparent in the picture. So we've got exactly what we're looking for, the link and how effective it is. So it's not just analysing the language, even though obviously contradictions, paradox and irony are all features of language analysis. It's how the picture links to them and makes that evident that is getting marks here. So remember that. Candidates would benefit from focusing on the individual words, their meaning and effect, as well as the detail within the picture when responding to this type of question. So what we can take from that is it would be best for us to look at specific words in the text to link the picture to, and specific feelings or perhaps ideas that come from the specific words, not just saying the text is about something bad, the picture is dark, therefore they are linked. So we want to get to the specific words. So we might look for the say the word hoodlum was in there and we had a picture of someone with a hoodie. That's not a direct reference, because hoodlums are more of the word of a gangster, whereas a hoodie is obviously a type of clothing, but the link could be made in terms of the use of the word hood in hoodlum, referencing and linking to the person wearing the hoodie. That would be a link. And please don't think I'm making a generic criticism of hoodies. Not really falling in that camp. It's just the first thing that came to mind. Some candidates, for example, drew inferences about the size from the juxtaposition of the huge fossil and relatively small people looking at it, relating that observation to the size of the pigeon, and then link these interpretations to material in the text. Comments on both presentational and linguistic features in the headlines are expected for this question, as well as detailed original ideas about the picture. So what that tells us is that whenever we're answering, and perhaps I should have put this in the other video as well, but then that wouldn't have left anything new to pick up here, we're always going to be saying something about the headline. Okay, so in this presentational question, we're always going to be saying something about the headline, because as the chief examiner says here, they are expected. So the second one then, the arresting picture and headline offered considerable scope for a developed answer. Most candidates were able to make valid comments about the headline and picture and their effects on the reader. The weakest, again, tended to be generic, so again that tells you about the danger of that. And the most successful attended to the detail in the picture and the meanings of the words in the headline. So again, focusing on the headline helped this person get some of the best marks. Candidates generally were less comfortable with articulating how the picture and headline linked to the text. However, many did at least make the direct connection between the iconic ribbon of water and the picture which showed it. Say what you see. Candidates who achieved highest marks were able to explain the pun, the contrast of colours, the location, the significance of up, the fantasy of toy balloons, and Trapp's words about a peaceful experience. All of these aspects were available in the picture and headline and resonated throughout the text. So what we can pick up then is, generally from those points, is that we want to be specific and try and avoid generic responses as much as possible. We want to link pictures to specific words and the meaning, not just generally the text in itself. And we must comment on the words in the headline. So if there's something in the headline, we want to comment on it. And just to sum up, and probably another point from here as well, it's the range. Okay, the range here is very important. So the one who achieved the highest marks explained the pun, 1, the contrast of colours, 2, the location, 3, the significance of up, 4, the fantasy of the toy balloons, 5, and Trapp's words about a peaceful experience. So that's 6. Now he's not saying that they're all in one answer, but you can imagine if this was all in one answer, then it was definitely going to get full marks. So if you do try and write, up to 6 points, then it's going to put you in good stead.